Hello, friends. Welcome to Mystic Revolution. We are in season 2, and this is our third episode of Mastering Our Energy. Susana and I are so glad you're here. And before we start, let's do a little meditation. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes, tune into your inner world. Notice your breath. Our bodies are always in present time. Let's be here with our bodies and our breath. Good. And another thing that's always here is the earth we're sitting on a chair that's on the floor, all the way down to the heart of the earth. And just notice your connection from your whole body to the earth. Good. And let's let go like sand in our hands. Just let go. Just open your hands in intention or your actual hands and let go of anything that's not now. Let go of anything disturbing. Let's let go of the things that distract us so that we can have our full attention to play the mystic game more consciously for the next half an hour. Be here now, playing with being here now with, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes or you can just keep resting. Just keep resting your body, resting in your soul as we start to listen to some of the things Susan has to share with us today.
Hi, Wendy. Well, it's not just what I have to say, it's what you have to say too. We have a lot to say about this.
Yes, we do.
Yes. And so, as you said, we're continuing with mastering your energy. And I think we touched on this a little bit last time, but I know something that comes up for a lot of people is how do I know what's mine and what's not? How do I know? And the process of mastering your energy is coming to know what your own sort of signature energy feels like and what other feels like. And the other could be another person, could be your partner, it could be your frenemy, it could be your computer energy. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that gets in your field, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as you start to learn to master your energy, what your own, again, signature energy or sort of core default energy feels like becomes just more evident. And so I wish I could say, these are the signs, look for this, look for this, look for this. But it does come back to what our meditation was about. Like, what do you feel like when you are being here now and you feel that groundedness and centeredness and maybe are even aware of your connection with the divine, which we had a show about that a little while back about tuning into the divine, and we'll talk about that more. And for every person, it's different, right? We can't tell you what it feels like or how to experience it. But if you're interested in this stuff and you sort of play with the practices that you might hear here or in books that you read or other things, it's something that your body innately knows. It already knows this. You already know this, right? All this jib jab we're doing is really just about reminding us the truth of who we are and what that really feels like to embody that and be that. So
Yes.
when you start
Yes.
getting clearer on that, then knowing what is not yours and what is becomes much more clear.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just want to say that, like, yeah, everything we're saying, it's like, if it feels true, if you're like, oh, yes, I knew that already. It's validating. It's nice to get validated. And it's nice to be like, oh, yeah, I'm not the only one who sees it that way.
Yeah.
Really helpful. Yeah.
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 And your point about validating is I think important because people seek out teachers or coaches or mentors or healers. Um, and my view is that the aim of these people, again, is not to tell you what it feels like or to tell you anything. It is to be a guide and be a witness for you when you have these insights and epiphanies. And I think we talked a little bit last time about the power of having a witness, a
Yeah.
power of having someone else witness you as you start to uncover things, as you start to heal things. Um, there's something very powerful about that, in part because in that moment you clearly can discern, oh, I'm having this experience, and this person who is separate from me is seeing me having this unique experience. And so um yeah, I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. And it just helps to have some words or some, oh, this is like I've tried letting go like this, try letting go like I was doing sand in the hands. It's just this example. It
Mhm.
lands so well that I use it right away in the beginning.
Mhm.
Um, I got reminded when you were talking about how excited I was when I learned the word empath, which was a long
Mm.
time ago now. I mean, it's like all over now, but back in the day, 25, 30 years ago or whatever, I was just like, there's a word for it. I'm not the only one.
Yes.
Right. And
Yeah.
it was so validating. And then once, like, oh, it's a thing, then like, how do I operate in that thing?
Yeah.
Uh, so, but just to get the validation was really cool.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
validation is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I just wanted to finish with the mine yours. It's such an essential part of discernment. It's so important. Who is speaking? Is it something here or something there? Is it, is it just the dog? Is it the cat? I used to do a trade with my friend. I've probably told you this before. And the cat was always just like, chicken, chicken. Give me chicken.
Oh
It's a little like had to clear it from the space.
my
No,
gosh, that's so cute.
right?
Right?
Chicken. No, that's not the voice of God. That's the cat.
That is the cat. Yeah. Oh, and that's so cute. And when you have that heightened discernment, you know that immediately, right? That's such a cute example. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. One that's maybe not so cute that comes up a lot for people that I work with, is anxiety.
Mm,
I've got a lot of anxiety. The stuff going on is making me anxious. And after some sort of gentle tending to sort of, you know, ground and get things a little bit turned down, I start looking with people at how much of their anxiety is theirs.
yes.
How, and what is the origin of it? Where does it come from? And people will say, oh, it's my boss at work, it's work is so stressful, or all the things going on in the world. And of course all of those things exacerbate anxiety, but most of us have had some sort of trauma in our life, and so there is anxiety from that at the root.
Yes.
And sometimes we've picked up anxiety from other people along the way, be
Yeah.
it a parent or another sibling
Mhm.
or something like that. I mean, I've worked with people who clearly picked up anxiety while they were in the womb because a lot was
Yes.
going on with their mother or their parents at the time.
Mhm.
And So people think they were born anxious. They were born with anxiety, and they picked it up in their mother's womb, and it might be in their lineage, right?
Yes.
Um, and we can look with our soul senses to maybe find the origins, the
Yeah.
ancestral
The
origins of
core.
that.
Hmm.
But just the simple exercise of saying, this anxiety is not innately you.
Yes.
It's not innately you. And we can start to sort of separate the core of who we are from anxiety rather than defining ourselves by it. And then it becomes something that feels easier, I'm going to use the word again, to tend to, than
Yes.
something so ingrained in ourselves that, like, we're all just messed up and it's very hard to fix. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. I really want to like this is so important. And it's not just anxiety. There's other emotions
uh,
and
absolutely.
vibrations, but that anxiety is so prevalent. And so that yeah, there's the anxiety of others that we're carrying
Hmm.
and our own patterns that just continue to Michael likes to say, my partner likes to say, when you solve problem number one, problem number two gets a promotion. It's like, oh, I'm done worrying about that. Now I have to start worrying about this. It's like
Yes.
these never ending patterns
Hmm.
of anxiety. The pattern itself can be resolved as well as the energy. And
Exactly.
it's so important. And then understandably, I mean, I know I've worked with a lot of people that it's like, it feels like it's just okay, it's me, but it's happening, it's just constantly happening to me, which is a victim experience. So it's
Hmm.
like, it's terrible. It's like, it's a 1-2 punch of like terrible anxiety, but like, the perception of inability to control it, inability
Yeah.
to make it stop. The waves just keep coming.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And
Hmm.
I just hope that people hear, if they're having issue with this, that we see a lot of change about this, and we have had both of us have had a lot of change about this for
Oh, yeah.
ourselves.
And ourselves. I used to be just an anxious wreck. An anxious wreck. I mean, I I had no idea that there was a way to live without it. I
Yes,
mean, this is from childhood. I was just
yes,
terrified all the time. Even though I
yes,
was going through the motions of things,
yes,
just this inner terror. Uh and that can seem really hard. How does one untangle that? But it's possible. Um when you start to understand that there is a way to see it and sense it and sort of pull it apart and discern it. And so then so I guess then the next thing would be like, what is mine and what is yours, or what is not mine and what is someone else's.
yeah,
um when you can identify what is not yours, that for me almost feels like that's the low-hanging fruit.
yes,
Let's clear that out first, and
yes,
in doing that, gosh, there's so much more spaciousness. Maybe the anxiety or whatever emotion you're talking about that has really haunted or been hurting you,
yes,
um, may not be fully going away, but she's a huge chunk of it is out of there. And along with that, new perspectives, new awarenesses about what is yours and how to
yes,
tend to that.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
and making space, all the space that's been my creativity was so invested in perpetuating the fear
Mm,
and worry, and like when that pattern stopped, like I got so much more positive creativity,
right.
so much more.
So much more positive creativity. Absolutely. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
creativity, I mean, then can go to, more positive healing experiences. But beyond that, going into producing, manifesting that which you really want in your life,
Yes.
rather than treading water all the time, barely keeping your head above water or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so what's possible is the sky's the limit on this.
Yeah. Um, the sky is the limit on this. And I guess I just want to underscore that it is possible. And I'm not going to say it's super easy, but it might be a little bit more approachable, doable than you might have thought. Because part of mastering your energy is really leaning into tools and resources and insights that really we've not been taught that we have
Yes.
in traditional modes of schooling or work or anything. And as you step into it, you start to realize that our bodies, our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls are actually really built um, to be able to care for ourselves in these things. They aren't, um, they're built to be empowered.
Yes. Yes.
They're built, these systems that are really built to integrate and work well together, right?
Yes. It's just like physical healing
It
where
is.
like there's things in the way. Oh, maybe there's just somebody doesn't have enough iron or too many toxins and it keeps the body from healing itself. But if you take that stressor off and give the body what it needs, it heals.
It heals.
And the same with our souls.
The
The same on
same
the
with our
inside.
souls. And I will dovetail that comment with to say the fact in my own life where in tending to my soul, I actually had some pretty dramatic physical healings as well.
Mhm.
Which I know makes people nervous. And I'm not saying, swap a soul healing for your doctor by any stretch. However, when you're running toxic energy in your body,
Yes.
it's not helping any physical illness or injury that you have. Just saying.
Yeah, and eventually what's in the soul realizes manifests into the body, life, and world. It just does if we don't tend
Mhm.
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So we're headed for a break.
Okay.
But I wanted to close up this conversation by saying, this whole beginning conversation is about mine and yours,
Mhm.
I and thou, and there seems to be a misapprehension, I don't know if that's the right word, of that. But I could take your emotions that you're not enjoying over here, but I can't process them. I can't I can't make any difference for you. So I can match your emotions and try to take them, but I can't, it doesn't help you
No.
at all. Um, at
This is
all.
the fixer. The
Right?
fixer.
Right? I'm trying to help. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to make it better for you. So let me
Yeah.
take it away. But I'm not taking it away. I'm just matching it and storing it in my own system where I cannot process it. And I
Yeah.
can't, it's not helping you or me. It's just
Not
hurting me.
helping you or me. And that's such an important point because we can get caught in this mindset that I am helping. I am helping you.
Yes.
And um the truth of the matter is when you try and take away other people's pain, or help them not experience something,
Yes.
um, you may be, I'm not going to say always, I'm just going to gently say you may be robbing them of the very thing that helps them heal and evolve.
Mhm.
And as Wendy said, you're just piling more crap on yourself, which isn't helping you. So this
Mhm.
is
No.
a topic for a whole other show because it relates to healers, a lot of
Yep.
healers,
And
or people
empaths.
and empaths and fixers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
So
I did want to mention because
it's
it's like there's
important.
that big habit, and then I'm walking around with whatever it is, the shame or the pain or whatever it is,
Mhm,
and I can't do anything but drop it. I can't. I
mhm.
can't. it doesn't help me. And yeah. So anyway, all right,
Yeah.
on to the
Great.
break.
Thank you, We Are Historically, for your conscious human apparel. Shop online at wearehistorically.com.
Hey everyone, just a friendly reminder that on the first Tuesday of every month, we hold a Mystic Revolution meditation, and you're invited. Just go to our website and you'll find the link. We look forward to seeing you then.
Raise your vibration and energize your life with specialized Fibonacci tuning forks that deepen meditations and empower self-healing. Get your vibrational sound tools for personal enhancement at energybodytuners.com.
All right, welcome back. And this is Mystic Revolution. And Susana and I have been talking about what's mine and what's yours. And near the end, we were talking about how me trying to take on your emotions that you're not enjoying doesn't really help you, but it hurts me. And all I can do is let it go. So what else about this, Susana?
Well, I think where I was leaving off was that if you're trying to take away my emotions or fix something so I don't have to fully experience what you perceive will be painful for me, you may be preventing me from finding that seed of strength, right? Having that opportunity to look at something in a different way. Basically, um, closing a door on my own opportunity to master my own energy or start healing myself. And this is not to say that trying to reach out and help, and we know we don't want the people we care about to suffer, right? We don't want that. We would do anything, cut off a right arm to do that. But if you cut off your right arm, you don't have an arm anymore. Right. And so this is the idea of allowing someone to be fully who they are in all of their feelings. We can model our own energy mastery or our own way of tending to things to the point, where we are in the world, where we are from where we are. We can certainly offer some insight and guidance if the person wants it.
Yeah, asks for it.
Right. Ask for it. Don't impose. Right. And that's really important. Asks for it. Because when we start doing without getting consent, right, we're inviting that person to give away their own power and to not make a choice for themselves.
Yes.
So energy mastery is about tending to yourself, but also an awareness of when your actions may be disempowering others too.
Yes.
And certainly just sitting with someone and listening can be sometimes the most healing thing a person can do.
Yeah.
Not saying a word.
Yeah.
Holding the calm and strength in yourself and just listening.
Yeah.
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 But I've been babbling on quite a bit. What else did you have to say about this?
Yeah, not trying to jump in and be the hero. And I think another distinction that's important is if I'm giving unsolicited advice, if I'm trying to fix their problem or take their pain away or whatever, it's invalidating. It's saying you can't handle this. I need to take over.
Yeah.
It's putting myself in the parent role and them in the child role.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And that just adds harm to already a terrible situation.
yeah.
Whereas the opposite, is it okay? It's the opposite.
Please. Yeah.
From my perspective, it's like, well, what can we do? Like, tell us, what can we do? Because we want to help. And I really firmly believe that what we can do is we can show them, because we all have pain, we all have fear, we all have shame, we all have these things. How do we handle it? We learn to master our energy. And so when I am having more mastery of my energy with someone else, they can be like, oh, monkey see, monkey do, and the soul learning, this is a way that works, instead of, oh, I have to feel more terrible so you'll help me more. It's the opposite draws a positive response by saying, not like neener, but just
No,
being the strength, being the neutrality, being the muse in the face of the challenge really is helpful
I think so
to show the
too.
way.
Yeah. And you talked about neutrality. We've talked about that before. It's so powerful when you can just stand in calm without any judgment, without any need, desire to do anything, and just allow what is to be. I think that's very important when you're trying to help people, to try and find that space at first. One, because you get more uh, uh, a more detailed view of what's actually happening,
Yeah.
and you open a door for them to be able to say or do or express whatever they need, without the fear of being judged. And people can tell when you're open. Like, people can tell when you can handle most anything, you know?
Oh, totally, totally. Yes.
And I think that that's a really huge gift. We talk about, I'll say it again, mastering your energy is one of the most powerful, radical, and compassionate things that we can do. And that's part of the compassion part, is just be
Yes.
able to be with someone.
Oh, yes. Being present with presence here now with, I mean, it's just so powerful.
Mhm.
And letting, this sounds hard, I think. I don't, but I'll give an example. I was assisting a friend the other day, and she's just in a place where it's like she's in a monkey trap, where the monkey trap is where the monkey puts their hand in, and there's a banana, and they can't get their hand out because the banana's too big.
Yeah,
But if they drop the banana, then they can get out.
yeah.
Um, she's just so tight on the banana, for understanding it's big and long, complicated, but she's not ready. There's not enough pain. It's hard to watch. It's hard to be with. It's hard to
Mm,
let her be, just like there's not enough pain yet for
mm,
her right now to be letting go of the banana. And we
mhm.
circumambulated, and we did this, and we did some energy, and we did this. But really the bottom line is that the pain, as you were talking about before, the pain is actually the friend of saying, enough of this. I have to do something different. And
Yeah,
it's a kind of it like literally is a gift.
yeah. I agree. And um, I feel like I need to make a bunch of caveats about things, right? Obviously, if someone that you care about is having suicidal ideations, and that these, you're worried about them hurting themselves or others, right? There's a time and a place, right? Sometimes action has to happen, right? Some sort of interception or intervention can happen. But when you have your discernment and you can have that kind of awareness, like Wendy described with her friend, knowing her friend and where she is, like, allowing that, I
Not
think your friend's
fixing.
gonna drop the banana soon. I'm just gonna say that.
She is.
Yeah,
She is, but
yeah,
not yesterday, you
not
know?
yesterday. Mm-mm.
And it's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's
No,
nothing wrong.
no.
And it's just my fix it that wants to fix it. Right. But there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong. And we all, I certainly take my sweet time in my healing processes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
yeah. I
So,
know, I think back and I'm just like, all these people around me going, "Why doesn't she just do this thing?" Because I wasn't ready to see it.
Yeah.
The pain wasn't enough. I didn't have the awareness or the confidence or whatever to be able to do that thing at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's okay.
and it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. So I'm glad in the second half to be talking about this because it really keeps us out of a lot of trouble, and it keeps us from
Mm.
causing a lot of trouble. And I know we mean well, but it- some of us fixers get in habits over and over of um messing with the system.
Messing with stuff. And I'll just say for myself, I had a big period of fixing because I wasn't ready to work on myself yet. It's a lot easier to sort of, right?
Totally.
Great advice, great insight. Meanwhile, your own backyard's a big
Yep.
hellhole.
Yep.
So,
Yep. I like to call it the
so,
greatest temptation of healers is to be healing over there.
mm, yeah, exactly. And so when you mastering your energy, let me be clear. I think we said this before, but this is not some state that you reach and you're all done and all the things are mastered. It is a practice. It
Yes.
is a practice. And when you learn the foundations of it, like anything else, right? Build and grow, new opportunities, new things come in where you build your skills and new insights come in, and it's a continual thing.
Mhm.
But I will say that after a certain point, it becomes less of a, oh gosh, I got to remember to do this tool and do this thing. And it becomes sort of automatic. It becomes your
Yeah.
default.
Mhm.
Um, and so does the ability to discern what is yours and what is not, like literally in the moment. You
Yeah.
just know that's not mine. I'm not taking that on, right? And turn back to the soul, to the heart, and back to living from the inside out.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much,
Oh
Susana.
gosh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. This is great.
Yes.
And we will talk more about this in the next episode.
Yes, we will. So thanks y'all for playing with us. And how about we just take a moment and notice that we have our own bodies, we have our own space. And just posit that you're pulling your energy out of this conversation. Like little wildflowers, you're just pulling wildflowers back to your own space, your own attention and energy back, your own experience and wisdom back for you. And if you want to give some wildflowers to Susana for all her wisdom and beauty back to her, and you keep your own, and back to me, you keep your own. And you just have your own.
If you want to give some flowers to
experience.
Wendy for all of her wisdom and beauty. Sorry, I'm hijacking your meditation.
I said that.
I'm saying it in a bigger way.
Give it to me. Give me my flowers. Good. And notice that you're part of the earth, and notice that you're part of spirit, and notice that you are you and you have your own rhythms, and notice your own breathing. Thank you very much. Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And that concludes this portion of Mystic Revolution. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to get notified of new content. Don't forget to like and share. Join the Mystic Revolution. Click on the link in the description to get more information or visit themysticrevolution.com. Another creative art production by Retro Earth Studio.
So the idea of what we're talking about, I know that there are people that are thinking this way all over the world. And when we can find them and unite with them, wow, it can make such a difference. So, yeah.